My sister stole my wedding fund, so I exposed her at her own engagement party. My sister stole $40,000 from me to fund her dream wedding. She thought I would never find out. She was wrong, and what I did at her engagement party made national headlines in our small town. My name is Rachel. I am 29 years old, and for the last 6 years, I worked 2 jobs, one as a nurse during the day and freelance graphic design at night, to save up for a house. Not a wedding, not a party, a house. I wanted stability, something my parents never had growing up. My younger sister Megan was the opposite. She never held a steady job for more than 8 months. She always had a new business idea that never worked out. Our parents constantly bailed her out, and I never said anything, because that is just how our family worked. I stayed quiet. I kept saving. 3 months ago, I logged into my savings account to transfer money for a down payment on a townhouse I had been eyeing for a year. The balance was almost empty. Not low, empty. $40,213 gone. I called the bank in a panic, thinking it was fraud. They told me the transfers were made in 3 separate withdrawals over 2 months using a linked account, an account I had made years ago for my sister when she needed emergency help, and I never removed her access. I sat on my kitchen floor for 20 minutes before I could even process it. I did not call her immediately. I needed proof first. I pulled the bank statements, screenshotted everything, and drove to her apartment. When she opened the door, she was wearing a face mask and holding a wedding magazine. I asked her directly, "Did you take money from my account?" She did not even flinch. She said, "I was going to pay you back after the wedding. Mom and Dad said you would understand because you do not need it as urgently as I do." That single sentence told me everything. My parents knew. They had helped her access the account, or at the very least, encouraged her to borrow from me, and said nothing. I called a family meeting the next day. My parents tried to downplay it. "She will pay you back. You are the older one, you should help. Do not make this bigger than it is." But I had already made a decision. I was not going to yell. I was not going to cry in front of them. I was going to let the truth speak for itself, publicly, where they could not spin it. Megan's engagement party was in 2 weeks. 50 guests, her fiancé's entire family flying in from out of state. It was the event she had been planning for months, using my money. I did not want revenge for the sake of revenge. I wanted accountability. So I planned something simple but effective. I ordered a custom cake for the engagement party, the kind normally used for gender reveals or anniversary surprises, with a hidden layer. Instead of confetti, I had a printed card placed inside, visible only when the cake was cut. A copy of the bank transfer records, with the words "paid for by Rachel's down payment fund" printed clearly across the top. I also invited a family friend who worked as a local reporter for our town's community page, not to create a scandal, but because I knew my parents would only take accountability seriously if it was not just family drama anymore. At the party, when it was time to cut the cake, Megan's fiancé made a toast about how hardworking and independent Megan was, mentioning how she had saved for the wedding all by herself. That is when I asked to say a few words. I thanked everyone for coming, congratulated the couple, and then calmly said, "I just want to clarify something for transparency, since family honesty matters to me. This wedding fund was not entirely self-saved. Some of it came from my personal house savings, transferred without my consent." Then I nodded toward the cake. When it was cut, the card was found by Megan's future mother-in-law, who read it out loud before anyone could stop her. The room went silent. Megan turned pale. My parents tried to laugh it off, saying I was exaggerating, but the bank statement did not lie, and everyone in that room now had proof in their hands. Megan's fiancé pulled her aside. I later found out the wedding was postponed indefinitely while they reevaluated their financial transparency as a couple. His words, not mine. My parents did not speak to me for almost a month. But 2 weeks ago, Megan transferred $40,213 back into my account, with a text that just said, "Happy now?" I did not answer. I did not need to. I do not regret what I did. Some people say I should have handled it privately. But privately never worked in my family. Quiet only protected the people who did wrong. This was not about embarrassing my sister. It was about making sure the truth could not be buried under one more family excuse. I finally put a down payment on that townhouse last week.